morning. Today we're going to talk about Module 3, Lesson 4. Before we get to that, our poll results from Friday. First period, 57% said you wanted to do it on your own, and 43% said you want to go through the lesson. So what I decided we were going to do is we do both at the same time. If you have an A, B, or C, you can listen to this video, and I'll put the PowerPoint up for you guys, and you can go through that. If you have a C, D, F, or you want to do it as a whole class, I'll start class after you show up for the first few minutes of class. We'll talk about it. We'll do our poll. I'll tell you whatever I need to tell you, and then you get to go out and work on your own, A, B's, and C's, and everybody else stays, and we'll work through it and get through all the information together. So today's lesson is about the seasons, and they start talking about the harvest moon. And we have a harvest moon coming up in October 1st, so a little bit. And the harvest moon is the moon closest to the autumnal equinox. The 22nd is the equinox. So what a harvest moon is when the full moon was brightest, and it's the time when farmers are bringing in their crops. So since it had really bright moon, they're able to harvest their crops later at night, and they were able to see what they were doing, so they called it a harvest moon. The next thing they talk about in the lesson is the seasons, and they define that as what's happening in nature at the time. So they say, okay, so they define winter as the time when there's the least amount of sunlight and it is the lowest intensity. That's when your weather's going to be the coldest. In the summer, you have the most amount of sunlight and it's the highest intensity, so it's going to be the warmest. They define spring as the time when the amount of sunlight is increasing and the intensity is increasing, so the weather is warming. And they define fall as the amount of sunlight is decreasing, the intensity is decreasing, so the temperature is also decreasing. They give you different simulations that you can go through. You want to spend your time making sure that you change different things in the simulation so you can see why it's happening. So this season simulator, you can look at how the sun is angled, and it'll tell you what the different light intensity is at different points in time. So this would be what it's like at A, this is B, and this is C, and it'll give you a pole, it'll give you a mid, and it'll give you an equator. So the reasons that we have seasons is because of the tilt of the earth. If you look at the diagram, when we are tilted towards the sun, you get more direct sunlight. It hits you more of a direct angle, so it's more intense, and that's why our summers are warmer. But at the same time, we're facing towards the sun. The southern hemisphere is facing away from the sun. And all the things we said about the light, how it's more direct in the north, it's less direct in the south. So while we're doing summer, they're doing winter. There's a real good video on seasons, and it explains everything really clearly, so you want to make sure you watch that.